Teamwork makes the dream work. There's no I in team. Together, everyone achieves more. Okay, those are all horrible cliches, but at least there's an element of truth in them. To achieve great things in your business, you generally do need a happy, productive team who are working hard and contributing to the cause. So in this video, I'll be sharing 9 things that have really helped improve team performance in my business, and hopefully they will in yours too. Hey, this is Matt and welcome back to the channel. Since starting my business in 2008, I've hired and managed a small close-knit team of around 20 people. We've got an amazing team with great retention and job satisfaction, and in this video I'm going to share some top tips that have really helped us improve our team performance. First up, invest in training and development. In my business, we generally hire people with specific skills to begin with, such as copywriting, design, or animation. But training is really important to make sure that they can stay at the cutting edge of their craft. As well as being good for the business, it's also good for team morale, satisfaction, and retention. For me, it starts with training needs, any knowledge or skill gaps that are stopping the team from excelling in the nuts and bolts of their daily work. An example of this might be learning a new software tool, and this might be seen as a necessary training requirement if we're implementing it across the business. If things are all good there, it's time to identify training wants. This is desirable training that will keep the team growing by asking what's next and what will move us forwards. I tend to let the team drive this part so they can identify areas of passion or interest that they'd like to push towards. Finally, and most importantly, we need to make sure to allocate time. I try to make sure that each person on our team has a day or at least half a day a month for training. In busy periods, this can be much harder to fit in as client work takes priority over training, but there are also quiet periods where we can focus much more on training, so in general, this evens out over time. Next, let's talk about goal setting. We all know that goals motivate and encourage us to achieve more. Personally, I always find it useful to set goals based on activities rather than outcomes. So let's use a really relevant example. Rather than setting a target for how many YouTube views or subscribers I want to get, I instead focus on what I can control, which is publishing 1 good video per week. Within that, there are various things that need to happen, such as writing scripts, filming, and editing, which you could class as goals of their own. This approach works so well for me because I'm totally accountable and in control of whether a goal is achieved or not. I can't really control how many people watch or subscribe to the channel, and if I set a huge goal, I might end up being disappointed and feeling like I've failed, even though I've actually done all the right things. But focusing on doing the work every week keeps me honest, keeps me consistent, and keeps me focused, and over time the results should follow. Okay, next let's talk about incentives. As committed as you are to improving performance, there's no getting around the fact that it's a two-way street. It requires buy-in from the people on your team as well. President Eisenhower said, "Motivation is the art of getting people to do what you want them to do because they want to do it." And that cuts to the heart of this issue. Incentives are simply levers to pull that give your team a reason to want to work harder and give extra. And believe it or not, this isn't always just about money.
Hello, I like money.
Non-cash incentives are often even more effective. Time off, travel incentives, tickets to sporting events, awards, gift cards, and more. An example of an incentive I ran recently was called Client Comment Bingo. Client satisfaction is a really important part of our business, and although our team already take it seriously, I wanted to give it an extra push. So I created a spreadsheet, and every time a client used a word from a pre-agreed list of positive feedback words, the recipient of that message would log it in the spreadsheet and get a point. The lucky winner who racked up the most points picked up a day's holiday and a £100 gift card. But most importantly, it focused everyone to think about their messages, their work, and doing that little bit extra for the client, which are always great habits. Next up, communication. Small word, big deal. Communication is really important in any business, and we're no exception. That's why I make sure to speak regularly with all the managers in my business, and I also have one-to-one meetings booked in the calendar with each of them every 2 months. I run anonymous, whole team surveys every year, so the whole team is empowered to share how they really feel. And we have a monthly AAA meeting, which stands for Ask Anyone Anything meeting. And this allows the team to anonymously submit questions to the whole team or specific individuals. This is a great forum for issues to be raised and resolved. Communication is also important between teams, which is why we put in place processes to ensure information flows smoothly between everyone. Whenever a project moves forward in our team, we have a detailed handover call involving everyone who's been part of the project so far. This is so that the project can be discussed and information can be shared. We use Slack for informal ad hoc conversation, questions that pop up, and just miscellaneous chat, with everyone on the team being required to be online during office hours. Every person on the team has one-to-ones with a manager on a regular basis, and we have a custom-built project management system so all information can be found in one place. This is called project.co, which brings me nicely on to my next point. Next up, project management. My animation agency has a number of different teams: sales, support, script, design, animation, marketing, finance. And it's important we don't have information silos so that everyone has the stuff they need when they need it. The way we make sure this happens is by using a project management system called Project.co. This gives everyone on our team important project visibility with deliverables divided into tasks, tied to particular dates and assigned to specific people. And one place for all internal and external project communication. This means that projects are organized and can be accessed and reviewed by whoever, whenever. Each project also features its own section for important notes that are crucial to the project. Someone's off sick? Someone leaves the business? No problem, all that information is safe and available to the people who need it to ensure our projects continue to work flawlessly. But even beyond these exceptional circumstances, I can't tell you just how much this software helps make sure everyone on our team has the right information whenever they need it, and our team literally just couldn't function without it. Okay, let's talk about meetings. The truth is, a frightening amount of time is spent and often wasted in unproductive meetings that we could just cut out altogether. That's not to say that meetings as a whole are a bad idea, quite the opposite. They can and often do add incredible value to an organisation. But to avoid wasting time, it's always best to follow a few simple pointers. So here's a few of mine. If it could be an email, send an email. Limit the attendee list. Have a clear reason for the meeting. Schedule time for the meeting and enforce that time limit. And set action points to make sure everyone goes away with things to do to move the project forwards. Oprah Winfrey famously starts every meeting with a simple question: what are we going to come away from this with? I like to set an overarching topic for meetings. Stuff like, how can we improve customer satisfaction, or how can we ensure information shared better between our teams? This keeps everyone focused on an important discussion point, and it makes the meeting all about driving ideas to improve things in the business. I think it's really important that our work means something more than just hours worked and salary paid, because let's face it, we all put in extra when our work means something. I find that an exciting purpose or vision makes the team more committed and as a result can help you increase overall performance. For example, our vision at WiseOwl is to be the world's go-to company for exceptional content creation, and our mission is simply to help businesses connect with their audience. Focusing on these aspirational ideas helps us keep focused on not just what we're doing, but why. And another important factor is culture. We're lucky to have a great culture, and in large part that's because we've spent time defining the behaviours and the attitudes that characterise us when we're at our best, as you can see on screen at the moment. To do this, we asked our team to get in a room and write down all the things that are important to them about our culture. The things that kept popping up were the ones that we framed in the artwork you just saw, and when we see those behaviours and values exhibited, we move on to the next step, which is recognition. This is separate to incentives. I always find it surprising just how much people want to know that their work's been appreciated, but how little that recognition is often delivered by most businesses. Because, let's face it, it doesn't cost anything to say thank you. Counterintuitively, I've found that private recognition often tends to be more impactful than recognition given in public. Whereas public recognition feels showy and sometimes can embarrass the recipient, private recognition feels human, personal, and unexpected. This doesn't have to be complicated. Try the personal touch, send a text message or a private email to someone who's been pulling out all the stops and tell them that they've been instrumental and their hard work has been appreciated. And you might just be surprised at the response. Okay, a quick point about flexibility. It's crucial to remember that the people you manage are actually people. Flexibility around hours of work, location, appointments, and family commitments is really important. It's why we offer a flexible working policy, giving people the freedom to arrange appointments or work during different hours whenever they want, as long as the others in their team are around to cover them and everyone's at their desk between our core office hours of 10 AM to 4 PM. Using the steps I've outlined in this video will give you a great start when it comes to making sure your team is firing on all cylinders. Remember to set goals, measure performance, provide training, give feedback, communicate with your team, listen to them, solve their problems, and always be thinking of ways to remove friction and difficulty from their work. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up to let me know you liked it, and if I missed anything, let me know in the comment section below.